Cute.
All right, we're live. Hello. Good evening,
Hi.
everyone.
Hi, Christina.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I don't know if anybody's there right now, but hello. This is Christina, Christine Space, and I am so excited. Oh, look, I have goosebumps already. So we must have a lot. I can feel all these presences on my back. Oh my gosh. Hello. It's not just me, it's everyone that's here. And welcome to Lightworker Talk. And this is a new segment that I hope that I can continue to do so that we can bring interesting and enlightening conversation in today's world. So I'm really calling this Metaphysical Perspectives and Your Views in Today's World and What's Happening. So I'm opening it up to nothing specific, just conversation. And as I was kind of saying a little bit before we came on, is that, we don't really have the opportunity as much because of what's going on to gather to talk as much, right? Because there's just so much happening in life. And really what I want to pose to each one of you, and I'll just go around, my circle is Greg, Patricia, Christina, and Sonia, is maybe you can share with what's happening today in your life based on everything that's happening out in the external world and your metaphysical perspective. I mean, you can give any perspective you want to, but all of us here, you know, operate much more on that consciousness. So you can take it as far as you want to go in your perspective of things. And we can open up to anything and just see where it leads us, right? See where the conversation leads us. And who knows what else can take place. When we're working here in the metaphysical realms, as I can already feel, there's already many around me. So, Greg, how are you doing? Tell me, what's been happening with you?
Me? Oh, well, nothing. Same as always. Because I've been sort of disabled for quite a while, and it's been locking me up basically. Before the whole lockup happened and shut down and everything. So I was already used to that experience, and I was really, I really get kind of disappointed in people when they still complain about being locked up. They're so bored, they don't have anything to do, and I never have a problem with the things to do and be locked up. So that's what's going on with me. Actually, I'm in a really good place, really surprisingly good, ever since the Chinese New Year. I have been really on top of the world, and I don't know what happened, but I think we really shifted to something else, and that's the reason why I'm assuming. So that's it for me in a nutshell.
Well, I understand. I understand your situation, and you could say in some ways, it's you were prepared, I guess, for what has taken place, and that you could just live life just as well. Though, could you maybe elaborate a bit more as to what you feel took place? And you know what? Everybody's going to experience something different, but there's going to be a collective thing that's going on for sure. But anything? Any insights?
Well, if you talk about metaphysically what's happening, I really feel that's really more important than the 3D world kind of show going on right now. It's been an important process for the planet. This whole pandemic thing, because I know for myself personally, it's given me a lot of opportunities to really go within myself, and a lot of other people are too, who don't normally do that. And I think that sort of reflects out, and they're picking up on this energy of going in and working on themselves, and being used to not have a job and just being there for themselves and deal with that. And so it's been an opportunity for everybody on the planet to take the time for inner work, and that would have never happened unless there was something like this that hadn't happened in the first place. So That's how I'm looking at it. And I think if you talk to most people, I think at least people I know, they would say the same thing too. They have never have have grown so much in such a short time because of this. So that's what we need, because I think the planet needs to do this. It has to really start evolving a lot quicker than before, and that's what's happening, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
I think there's been a rejuvenation of the earth because there's been less people on the road, less people out doing all these things. So it's given our earth that chance to just kind of do some healing, and then it just obviously expands out because we're all one. So yeah, I do agree with you with the healing part. It's
I have a
definitely
question,
happening.
Greg. What of Almin's tools have you been working on during this time?
um, hmm. I can't say off the top of my head, but I always have meditation ideas,
Oh, that was loud. Sorry. Sorry.
different things, but but I always do that as an Almine tool. But there's always other things coming up. I have recently have been listening to the sound elixirs, the Russian sound elixirs,
Mm.
because I really feel that that's the way that Almine is teaching us these days. And she said she would come back and teach us, maybe not in physical form, but in another way. And of course, I wouldn't have any idea what that would have been. But then I realized after listening to these elixirs, I got it. She was teaching us some things because I could feel myself change by listening to them. So
cool.
that's what I primarily use right now. But there's always lots of things. What about you?
Well, I've been doing this. It's called the Fountain of Plenitude. Working. It's a thing that Anita Lucia put together using the rose quartz roller, and it's an exercise. The rose quartz tools have been blessed by Almine, and it's an exercise in rejuvenation. And I'm sorry, my glasses are distracting me. It's and just self love, and I'm at the point I'm at 2 where it's the morning and evening protocol, about just connecting into the vastness of myself. And I do keep up on what's happening on the website, the original one's website, and listen to what is being posted there as much as possible. But really, and you said something, Greg, that triggered me in some way about how Almine is speaking to us in other ways rather than the traditional teaching that she used to do. And there are times when I just feel her. I just know that she's a part of what I'm experiencing in some ways. And in that sense, because what I mostly focus on are the arts, music and art. And like today, I ended up in a place where there was a harpist, and there was just such a magic about it. And I could kind of almost feel an Almine kind of feel being in that energy. And just for the record, she was playing Celtic music on a Celtic harp. So
Oh, nice.
there it is.
Beautiful. Trish?
Oh boy. Yeah. So it's been interesting. So between Darren and I, we have 8 children. So 4 boys, 4 girls. So this has been very interesting. I've seen a lot of people really complain about having all the kids home, how hard it's been actually a very beautiful experience for us, because I think that we've got to connect more as people because we get to be with each other. And I've actually done Belle Hospital with the kids. My daughter, who's 13 now, she really wanted the spell book because she loves that. She loves the runes. So I've introduced all of these things to the kids and they love it. We go on nature walks. Like, to be honest, I think we've actually connected more to the earth and each other. And this has been a really great healing time for us. And so our experience has not been terrible. And by the way, we all got COVID. We all got, the virus, and we were fine. Actually, we felt, we made it through just fine. And so it's been an interesting year, but I would say for the most part, it's really been a year of connection for us. And just the kids have been more open to other things. So video games have kind of gone on the wayside. It's hard when you have this many kids, right? So they've been into art, and we sing and we dance all the time. And it's been kind of cool. And then just to share a really fun story, my 13-year-old Susie Lynn, so since she was little, I mean, right when she could talk, she could tell me, she would say, Mommy, did you know I'm a goddess at 3? I'm like, yes, ma'am. And then she said, did you know you're a goddess too? I'm like, yes. And Christina can tell you more, but like Susie she's been aware of everything since the moment she could talk. I mean, so she's just really amazing. So anyway, so last week, a lot of times we'll just kind of lay in bed and just sort of just talk about everything. And she said, Mommy, am I going to be as powerful as you? And I said, what does that mean to you? And she goes, well, you're able to feel everything and you can just all of a sudden vibrate when you want to. Can I do that? I said, yeah, I'm not any more special than you. Of course you can do all of these things. So then all of a sudden I started vibrating by my feet and it was going up my body. And she looked at me, she goes, do you feel that? I said, yes, I do. And so we were both vibrating like crazy. And I said, hold my hand. So it was like this crazy circle. And then I actually have chimes over here that are solar powered, and they started ringing because we had so much vibration happening that it was actually causing things in the room with us. And then we felt, I felt angels. I felt just the room was full. And it was just such a beautiful experience. So for us, this has been kind of a great time. So I know that seems strange, but yeah. So just rejuvenation, connection, I think is like the biggest things that I've seen.
Well, it's not strange to anybody here. It might be strange to some people, but it's very beautiful. And I can attest for sure. I mean, whenever Trish and I also get together, so we understand that it's been years, and her children I know as well. Susie Lynn, I remember the first time I met her when when did I meet her? When she was
in Canada. She was 2 when I brought her.
And I just like, look at this beautiful little fairy. And she was just like talking and singing. And we went on the Maid of the Mist, and she was standing in the middle by herself. Like she wasn't afraid of anything. In the middle going into the falls. And she's always been very conscious and aware. And, I love all your kids. But I know that she's very aware, and it's beautiful. I mean, even more so now. There as well. That's beautiful.
Well, and so she's actually with Darren's children, 5 children. She's brought a lot of things. She talks to them very openly about things, and they're very open to her because she's a child. So it's just been really interesting how everybody just kind of opened up to something that they've never experienced. Because Darren and I got together about 15, 16 months ago. So they're, it's been kind of rippling out. So it's cool.
Beautiful. I'm so happy for you in that way. I really am. And I hope to meet them all someday. This is the only thing that's a little challenging, and you kind of go, it's okay. We can connect like this, and this is what I love. But it would be wonderful to also be in the physical presence of people. I like that. I like being alone and connecting, but I also like to be in the presence of people.
Sure.
So we'll get back to that at some point, and that's totally fine. So one day.
Yeah.
Dina, what would you like to share? How are things with you, and how are you dealing with life? And even though I know, but share with everybody else.
Not much. Same old thing. A little bit of everybody, a little bit of what Greg said. Especially, I resonate so much when he said that he's more with himself, and doesn't give us a sense of relief, like, oh, finally, I can breathe freely, or I can be alone, or something like that. I don't have kids with me. I pass all day alone. My husband worked all day and come back. He doesn't believe anything that I believe, but he doesn't.
Prevent you from doing it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. He doesn't. So it's something. And but I am amazed that I live in two worlds: the world inside my house and the world outside. Every time I go outside, I start to see how many people are awakening. They are conscious of what is really going on out. It's like although suddenly everybody's seeing what is going on. Before was always the those things that was talk little by little, in for just one people, for not like a secret. No, it's not.
Yeah.
How many people I hear in the point of the bus, bus stop, saying, I'm not going to take this vaccine. I read on the internet that there is so many things inside it. I'm not gonna take. Oh, I heard that another person that took got sick. Oh, but actually, this virus, it's a disease that it's not killing anybody. It's 90-something% of surviving. What they are talking about? Simple people. I mean, people that goes in the morning to, the lady that clean the house, the guy that work on construction. Those people are talking this. And I was, oh. So this was kind of call my attention. This is one thing. The second thing is, I don't know for you guys, but for me, around here where I live, the time, feeling, and the weather is totally crazy. I mean, I wake up in the morning, and sometimes for my feeling, past 10 minutes, and past an hour and a half, and I say, what? I have to go to work. I go to work, and I'm doing, I don't know, and do past 15 minutes. And other time, I'm just, like today, I was
My chimes, just really quick, my chimes just went off that are solar powered. They just decided to go that I was talking about. Anyway, go ahead.
That's true. I mean, I was, I went to look something on the internet, which was go there, pick it up the information, write it down, and give to my boss. How long this takes? Why, 5 minutes? When I give to her, almost an hour passed. I couldn't believe that. But she didn't notice. She didn't notice either. She was in the same time that I was.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's like contracting, expanding. Time is
exactly during the day several times. And I noticed that I'm being more and more sensitive to you know, perceive those things, to see it, to feel, you know.
Mhm.
It's the other day I was sit down in my living room, look in the sky. I love to look the sky. Look in the sky. I remember that time I got lost in a thought. When I come back, was dark, dark, pitch black. And I said, what? When got that dark that I didn't see?
I think you
So
traveled somewhere, Christina.
I don't know. So I just have the courage to tell you guys, because I know you guys are gonna understand me. I tried to talk to my husband. He thought, I think you are working too much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you need. I think you need to go to bed earlier and rest a little bit. And I couldn't explain. English is not my first language, you guys can observe. And for me, he's American. For me, it's very hard to explain to a person that do not have the same beliefs that I do. So
Mhm.
I shut up and said, "That's okay. Doesn't matter."
Yeah.
This is what is going on
That's
right
part
now.
of what yeah, no, I totally understand that. I mean, I think when you go out your front door to a certain extent, that's what you're walking into, the majority. So, and it's being able to function in both those worlds, walking between the worlds, functioning within those worlds. I'm in the house a lot. Well, now I'm a little bit more out because I've started a little something else. So I have to go out, which I like because I actually, having been so-called forced to stay inside. Well, not so much here. I have to tell you where I'm at. It hasn't really been like that. But, there were some restrictions, but they come and go kind of thing. Now they seem to be gone. But I want to be outside. You want to be in nature. I think that that's very important to do that. So for me, when I step outside, I recognize what I'm going in. But what I do for myself, whether I do it consciously or unconsciously, is that I go into an expansion, just walking down the street, going to the shop, I start to tune into more of the expansive, expansion, like nature. Excuse me, like there's the mountains. I can't see the ocean from where I'm at, but there's the mountains. I'm in awe of them. I look at the trees. I observe the people. And, so for me, I feel like it doesn't really matter if they're sort of operating there. I know who I am, and that's, how I'm moving through, the external world kind of thing. Try to take what I do in here out there. But I understand that it's challenging. And that's why I also wanted to have this gathering, because like Christina said, it's always wonderful to be able to talk to someone who understands you and
Mhm.
where you're coming from and that level of consciousness, and
Yeah.
how you view things. Sonia, were you going to say something?
Well, I agree with you about nature, and I feel the trees so much more. Everything is just so much more vibrant, and I can feel them singing and talking. I found a new park, or a nature place to go, which is 5 minutes away from here. So I'm so excited about that. It's real easy to get to. It's a watershed area where a canal goes into the bay, which goes into the intercoastal, which goes into the ocean. But it's anyway, it's alive, and the cycles of the rainstorms, the drama of the rainstorms, and the cycle of the rain that goes up into the clouds and then comes back down into the lakes and the water and the ocean. That's the thing. That's, if there's a reference point, that's what the one that I have. Everything else, like the stuff that I would do, there's it doesn't work for some reason. Like trying to do something with computers. They're just like, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. But I find in nature that's where everything seems to work. You know.
Well,
And
nature.
we haven't
Low.
had many restrictions here where I am either. And the
No.
result of that is that we've had all these people moving here from places where they are heavily restricted, which is creating a lot of problems in that, these people don't really have a lot of reverence or respect for where they are. They'll trash the beaches and
Oh,
Hmm.
where are you? Where are you at? What
um,
state?
New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you're in Florida. Yeah.
It's the Atlantic coast.
Okay. Nice. I was in the Keys last year, which was beautiful.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Keys are another world. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you live there, Trish?
I was there. I guess it was, you know what? It wasn't like, it was actually I keep thinking it's 2020. I haven't made it to 2021 yet. I just haven't. But so when was it?
I'm telling you,
September
crazy.
2019. Yeah, I don't even know what happened to 2020 either. It's just it seemed like a blip on the screen. But yeah.
I guess that's a good thing because it was jam packed.
Yeah.
With a lot of things. So
Yeah.
just glided with it. Observe, move forward.
Right.
Yeah. I remember you lived in Louisville.
I loved it. I loved how everything was shut down, and I got to get out, and it was very peaceful.
Yeah.
I actually accomplished a lot, just sitting here. Understood a lot, worked out a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what you do, right? You're in your world, you're in your universe, wherever you are. So if we're in the house, your whole universe is there, and so you can go wherever you want.
Yeah, and that never gets old.
I have a question for the group. So there's definitely a major awakening just rippling out and happening right now. So with that awakening, why is it so tumultuous with everybody? Like is it awakening and just like trying to deal with the things that they didn't realize were happening and they don't know how to deal with it? So it's causing rifts with each other. Like why in a big awakening is there so much fighting between each other? You know what I mean? I don't understand it when there is a lot of things that are just coming to light and like Christina had said, it was kind of like secrets and the veil, and now there's not. It's like everything's like here it is. So why are so many people not able to have unity and more harmony right now?
I would first say the structuring of the belief systems, shifting of paradigms. I mean, it's an individual thing, but for sure, I feel it's just a structuring of belief systems and things that have been in place, whatever you want to call it. You can call it a lot of different things. And that's what I observed. I mean, I really was the observer watching this past year and, having been on my own and completely the whole time, except for Christina came at the end of the year, and that was wonderful. But, I just observed, and that's what I was seeing. But at the same time, that's not all I was seeing. You really were seeing it like almost split. There's those ones here who've been, asleep, and now this is like their world is being, I'm getting goosebumps. I don't know what's going on, but their world is being shaken. And it's like, so they're dealing with that, and everybody's dealing with it different. And however they react is their emotional state, in my view. Right. And there's other ones of us who've already
necessary. All of this is necessary for
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just, I think that it almost is like it's too much for people to learn all of these things on top of there's universal things happening, cosmic level things. And so people are uncomfortable. And so I guess it's going to take a little bit for, the water to kind of balance out and and kind of go to a more tranquil state. But I know that there's a lot of folks that are just very uncomfortable with everything that's coming out. I don't know.
Well, I can speak about the people that are coming here. They're coming here and they probably on some level know that they're looking for some kind of healing. But they want to bring their stressors with them. They think they need to have those things, that tension. That's part of their comfort zone. And they're not willing to just say, wait a minute, let's just leave that.
Shift.
Some will.
Yeah.
Some will do that. But a lot of them will not. And it's just, like you were saying, when there's light, people, the first thing they do, they reach for their sunglasses. They don't know how to process.
Right. Yeah.
Can I just say something, guys? You have access to the chat also, because I just noticed it myself, and we have had a couple people in there. And actually, there's Remy's in there, who I remember used to tune in. He has a YouTube channel. He's actually commenting to all of us, everybody's speaking. So if you feel to take a look at it, if you have access to it,
I do. I didn't even realize that was there. I was stuck in private chat, and now I see.
Yeah, I'm not used to doing that here, especially in a roundtable group. But Remy seems to be participating and commenting to everybody. So take a look at that, and if you want to say something.
Not everyone who becomes awakened has pure intentions. That's true.
Well, what are they awakening to? I'm just kind of wondering if that points if they don't have pure intentions.
Well, I think what he's referencing is more that the things that were kind of kept under wraps, there's an awareness of some of these things that are happening, and but then there's different levels.
How do you react to it?
Awakenings. Yeah.
Nice.
But I think overall, a lot of people, most people, do not realize there's a great awakening happening. It's just they want things. They just are so discombobulated with things not being normal. They just want things to be the same, and it's never the same. And they keep getting more and more upset because things aren't going back to normal. And I mean, the person I live with is like that. Every day he wakes up and he says, "It's such a weird day." I go, "How weird is it?" And he goes, "Well, it's different every day for me." And I go, "Well, that's good. It's all your life is supposed to be." And he goes, "No, but it's not normal." And so that's probably the biggest hurdle to get over that point of what's normal.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. You've been following the same structure, the same pattern, the same thing you do all the time. You take people out of their comfort zone, or you open them up to a whole new world in so many different ways. It can be overwhelming. As I'm saying, everyone's going to react differently. But to me, there's still that perfection, that's underlies that. It's still in a perfect.
This is what needs to happen. There's a catalyst right now, so that that more awakening can happen. So there's going to be discomfort, and I think that's the discomfort is where there's people resisting. But at some point, it's not going to stop just because they're resisting. But there's going to be a point where it does even out, or there's no such thing as normal, but there will be a peace that will happen. After a bit of time, but it's going to happen. So the resistance doesn't stop that chain of event of what's going on right now.
No, it will amplify it, really, whatever it is you're resisting. And I mean, we all do that to a certain degree. We all have that. I mean, that's part of still, that's part of the work
of ego.
I mean, I know that I'm much more fluid now, but there could be a moment of something that comes up, and if I can't see yet where to go, I don't know quite how to deal with it, or I'm kind of like, so sometimes you might step for a moment into the way that you would normally deal with things, because you're resisting to open up to something new, different, easier maybe. So we all have that in certain ways. it's just how you respond to it. You know, how do you let it flow? Do you, you know, trust in what possibilities could be, you know? And I think that, oh, the world right now, sometimes it's like when I do observe, which is only through here. And yes, I observe it when I'm out in the street. I have to say where I am at, there's not a lot that's going on except for these things that I call cubra locas, you know, that you wear. Christina knows what I say. You know, I am resistant to that to a certain degree. And so I don't do it when I'm in nature. I just don't.
No reason to.
No, there isn't. And so I don't. And I will follow a rule to go into it. They have a restriction inside the store just because I don't want no hassles. As soon as that boom, it's like, you know, because I want to live. So I do have a little resistance to that. But at the same time, I don't.
It's conformity. That, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes. I've never been one for conformity ever. And but anyways, it's okay. I don't fight it in the sense of where it's harming me.
What's that?
Didn't hear you, Greg.
How do you reconcile the thing? How do you reconcile being resistant and not non-resistant at the same time? I can't understand that. I mean, for myself, I can't understand that because I really resist the idea of wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
But I still wear it, so I'm resisting it, but I'm not.
So I think my answer for that is because I have done, you know, research, and I am a medical supply actual broker.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear what you said.
I'm a medical supply broker, so I know a lot about masks. So for me, it's not so much what it does as much as I'm doing it out of respect for other people. I do it as a respect. And I won't go into too much, but I think so. Instead of having this inner battle of I'm resistant, I'm not resistant, it's more, you know, a respectful thing for me, so I can kind of step out of any sort of mental battle with it.
I know what you mean. It's like, you know, when you go somewhere, if it's cool not to wear shoes, you don't have to wear your shoes. But if you're in a place where they expect you to wear shoes, then you just wear the shoes, and you know, you're just there doing it. And I feel the same way with the masks. You know, if you know you're going to a place and you see people that are wearing them, then you know, I'll make a point to just be, you know, to do that. You know, when in Rome, you know. But you know, the minute I get a chance, I'll take it off when I'm outside, which is I get outside more than anything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they still have in a lot of places for you to wear. Here, it's not mandatory to wear it outside. So, and you just couldn't make me. You couldn't do anything to make me in nature put something on that it's going to suppress me. And someone who is a little, has had in the past, you know, sort of bronchitis or different things like that. I'm not going to suppress myself from clean, good air and, you know, doing what's natural, breathing out the carbon and breathing in the new, out in the old, in the new. You're not going to suppress me from doing that. That's the whole point. We won't go down that road too much, but, you know, that's the whole point of that. So in nature, I'm not going to. But yes, as a respect and to not give myself problems because of where I am, I will go into the store, boom, put it on. I don't want to cause any issues. That's it. I don't want to cause issues until it's gone. But as soon as that door is open, everyone sees me. It's just like, because they know me where I'm at in the area. It's like, nope, there it goes. And it's because, and I take a breath. Every time I take it off, I just take a deep breath. And I thank you, because to me, that's life, right? But I know what you're saying, Trish, and I do that. So it's, I'm resisting in the sense that I'm not going to do it how they want it.
Because of fear or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do what works for me, you know, and also not to based on my own circumstance, not rock the boat too much. But I'm not going to compromise my life, you know, and my well-being for it. No.
Yeah.
So is that resistant? No, I'm not conforming to what the agenda is. That's all.
It's just a dance, really. You know, you're just
Yeah,
dancing
you
with
get a
your
dance,
community.
Yep.
True. Well, California, Greg and Trish, you guys are in California. Now, you know, I love California, though I see a lot, and I'm not saying, I mean, from here, you know, I don't watch news, but I observe people who live there, or I might watch alternative, or I might listen to, you know, roundtables like this, or other people who are sharing that are wherever they are. But I'm just specifically talking about California. And what I hear outside of, and what I hear about in New York and a few other different states, or even in England, which I was there a year ago, and I can't believe a year has passed already, but this is when this all began, well, almost, you know, began. What is your view, just in the 3D world, but also from a metaphysical perspective, if you've tuned into it at all, what's happening in your own states? Because Florida is completely different, I feel, from what I've heard, to
absolutely.
California.
Yeah, it's like yin and yang, the two coasts from each other. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying not to get political, because there is a connection. There is a connection between the metaphysical and California. We have a lot of amazing teachings, and there's a lot of people that are very awake here. There's a lot of spirituality. It's very open. Like, you got San Diego and LA and Shasta, and like just a lot of these places that are kind of meccas for spirituality. Well, this might also be a great place to try and shut some of that down. And so my chimes just went off again. That's interesting. Anyway,
Working with you.
Yeah, it's like, yes, ding, ding, ding. So I think we're just such a big state, and we do have a lot of people, and there is power here in multitudes of folks. So why not try and squash that a little bit? So I think that's some of the things that are happening here. But what's really interesting is as there was a power change, then things have opened up more in our restaurants and our retail and things like that after, you know, so it's very interesting how things have shifted.
Where in California are you, Patricia?
I'm in between San Diego and LA. I'm in a place called Temecula, which means the light. Temecula means the light shining through the clouds.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a cool place.
I spent some time in the Bay Area.
Yeah. Yeah. San Francisco, obviously, that's a really cool place. And Half Moon Bay is one of my favorite areas. But go ahead, Greg. Were you going to say something?
No, I was just saying I'm just across the mountains from you. I'm in Palm Springs. And it's kind of different here because it's a resort town. And it suddenly closed down when it was really at the depths of this epidemic. And but recently, it's been really a lot of people been coming here. A lot. It's season now, and so it's really crowded. It's getting really crowded, and a lot of people coming from LA. They don't want to wear the masks, and they don't do it. They don't do it. They go through downtown without their masks on because they feel like they're not at home, so they can do what they want. And, so a lot of people are complaining about that, but it's sort of like I'm so out of that world. You know, I'm so like above it so often that even this discussion is kind of bringing me to this world of this pandemic, and I live above that place, and I really don't delve to this level very often. So
That's good. Well, that's good.
you know,
Well,
yeah, you know, and I think if people realized what was really happening, what they could have a great life, you know, in being locked up, and they could have a really great life. And but
Yeah.
but it's like all these like barriers of, I guess, like belief systems and thought forms just are so heavy in our culture that it's like it's there. I'm just at another level than that, right? Than them, and it's sort of shocking to me to be exposed to that level of consciousness. You know, not that it's surprising, but it is shocking at times because I get in my own little world and I don't see it at all. And so this is.
I don't have
probably
that. I don't. I mean, that sounds like bliss. I don't have that opportunity because with 8 kids, they're in 4 different schools, and I have to really live in that world with them and be here. But for us, this is what's available to us. This is kind of cool. I was just thinking about this. So they shut down, a lot of restaurants. So a lot of processed foods, alcohol, or whatever. They shut down a lot of events where, maybe there's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of things I'm talking about, like music events and things. So a lot of those things that we don't have access to. Let's think about the things we have access to. We can go hiking. We can go to the beaches. We actually have more things that we're being almost like redirected to versus the things that we can't do anymore. The things we can do is far better. I'm eating healthier because I'm like, well, I've got to make all of our own meals for the most part because we can't sit in a restaurant. So what are we going to make? So I think our kids are eating healthier in our home because we're making a lot more meals than we were, So the things that are available are actually healthier than all the things that we may have been doing before. And that's, for, my family.
Interesting.
I was just reading Remy. I have really enjoyed listening to you all. Very interesting viewpoints and experiences. I'm going to have to head out. Oh, well, thanks for joining us, Remy.
thank you, Remy.
Yes, thank you for all your nice comments.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. No, I totally see that, and I don't want to talk too much about the situation in that way. If we're going to talk about it, it's more about my whole thing is about coming from a metaphysical perspective and how you see beyond that, and also how you implement that into your life. Even with having children and a family, there's you have the consciousness enough. It's how you make a decision about something instead of coming from this way, you come from a bigger picture, or
Right.
That's what I would like to more get into. No, I don't want to get too focused on that because that's a whole different discussion that I don't really want to get into.
Right.
So, but I agree with you. I mean, sure, there's always going to be what looks so negative or destructive. There's always going to be the positive in there. There's always going to be blessings in it. There's always going to be gifts. There's always going to be things, the insights. I mean, that's the whole point of it, like that's my view, right? I don't look at it like, oh my gosh, No, what is this showing me? And I don't have to worry about what it's showing the rest of the world. I have to look at what it's showing me and what is my part in that. And that part for me is to keep awakening,
Right.
Keep remembering who I am. Keep living who I am. So I'm my, I talk to myself all day, unless I'm talking to somebody else. So I'm constantly talking to myself because I'm all things, right? So I can get all kinds of different answers from myself, and but as well as tune in to life. But yeah, I agree with you in that. And thank you, Sonia. So Florida.
I think like what Greg was saying about just not being in that energy, and that's the thing. It's almost like you're just an observer. When you go out, you see the people doing their thing. in their space, and then you can kind of tell where their heads are at, and the belief systems that they're living and that sort of thing, and you're just observing them, just with compassion. Say, this is where we are at this point. This is where they are at this point. Being in the world but not of the world, I guess.
Yes.
That's how I feel most of the time. I'll go out and put on the costume or whatever and walk around, but I always end up just being on my own, really, even though I'm with other people. And then I just go home and I'm with my kitties, but I'm in my own zone, and I'm not leaving that zone just for the sake of being around other people or playing whatever game that is. It's just not on the table for me to do.
Well, some of us, now that I'm more out there, I am interacting more with people, and I just be me. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just being me. I'm not there to do anything else. I have a project that I'm doing and working on something, and I'm being myself. If a moment presents something, right? Whether because some people will see me if I'm on the outside, I don't have this on. I'm like, I just want to breathe the fresh air. This is me. So sometimes there's moments where people will question things to me or ask me, especially where I am here, because I'm really pretty much the only foreigner in my little neighborhood. So I'm noticeable in some ways, and other times I'm invisible, right? Or I've just blended right in with everybody. So sometimes people like to just ask me, what my thoughts are, my view, or what's happening. And I'll tell them. Otherwise, I'm just myself, and just go about the day when I'm in the outside world. Does that make sense? It's just, yeah. I don't want to be somebody else. I just want to be me, whether I'm inside or I'm outside. And
I get it. I can't explain myself. I don't feel the need for anybody's validation.
Of course not.
I'm just, nobody really asks. I hear people talk about, I got my second vaccine, and it's like I'm going,
Yeah.
Oh, well, that could lead us on a different topic, but which is kind of hard on here.
Speaking of, I keep getting texts because my father's in the hospital because of
that.
Yeah, and I need to. She wants to give me a call about something that they just talked about. So my dad having heart problems is pretty terrible. Yeah.
Sorry.
So Christina knows kind of what's going on here, but so there are definitely some repercussions to
that.
Yeah.
But it's an individual choice, right?
It is.
It's it's we can have our perspective on that, and again, it's everyone's choice, and we can only send our love.
Respect. It's again that respect, right?
Of course, there's respect.
Respecting where everybody's at, but yeah. So,
but at the same time, I send him love, and only hope that this will, he will be fine.
Yeah, me too. I hope that too. I feel that. Actually, I feel that, that this is going to be okay. But she's calling me, so I'm going to.
Okay, no.
I'm going to take this. So.
I totally understand.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I so
appreciate
being here, darling. Thank you. We'll have to do it another time. Keep me posted. Yes. Keep me posted.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I know some of you probably might not. Well, we talked a little bit before you came on because, her dad recently had that, and then some of the effects that we know of that could come about happened. So yeah, that's a situation. And it's a little bit
energy to me. I don't know, the whole thing. It's all energy.
yes, but I'm saying your family. How do you deal with someone who's so close to you? It's I had someone else tell me yesterday they just had it, and it's like, okay, it's like, okay, it's your choice. I understand, and you just think, okay.
And some people go through it and they're fine. I don't know.
Well, initially,
who knows how things resonate.
I hope and I feel there's something that I'm not seeing yet, or maybe all of us are not seeing yet, but I feel like there's something there in regards to this that could come into our knowing, into our consciousness, to shift something. I don't know what it is. It feels like it's very vague to me, but I feel like it. I feel like it was just put into my immediate consciousness literally last night, and within 12 hours later again with people that are close to me. So I haven't had any of that. I've heard things and seen things, but I haven't had that. So now it's sort of like, they're coming to me asking me questions immediately. And it's like, well, I can share some of this, but I don't have any other answers for you. So as I'm tuning in myself, I feel there's something there. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like there's something there.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got goosebumps, even though I don't know the words.
It's all about trusting. And at the end of the day, the infinite is a benevolent being. And even though we don't see, something might look really bad from our perspective, as Almeen has taught us, but ultimately it's going somewhere good, and we just have to trust.
We do. I think that it'll open up. It'll just open up new doors, new information, new understanding, something. Again, I don't know what it is, but that's the sense that I've had in the last, since last night, and we'll see.
What I've noticed here, the people that are doing this, they have a sense of, they feel more relaxed as a result of it. They don't seem as on edge as they were, because they feel like, okay, I've done this, so now I feel better.
But what? I think also it's like my boss is 72 years old. It's a very admirable woman, and she's very intelligent, multitask, very active. And her husband is 92, even so he looks like her age. And when this thing appears, they were so happy. They were so excited. They entering all kinds of lists, because it was waiting list to get it, and they did. And happened exactly what you were telling now. So I said, but why are you feel relieved or feel more tranquil now? Oh, because I was so afraid. So everything comes back to the fear. Afraid of what?
The agenda worked.
Something happened. And I said, and if something happened, I mean, you have to handle what happened. And this is it is what I was thinking when Greg was talking at the beginning. How was this time for him to manage to be with himself and grow as a person with himself? And I'm thinking, well, I resonate so much with this. But one thing, I still have to work hard on myself as my self-sovereign. And this means that I have to handle my fears. I have to handle my spectative, don't my reference points and all this stuff that man, I'm 60 years old and I still do not master this.
Well,
You
you
have an
know,
eternity.
Almeen has said recently in one of her writings that we're moving into a new phase now because the last phase, we're clearing out our old what do they call it? And I can't even think of it. Old ways of being. It was old shame, a lot of old shame, and then
Yeah,
we're going to move to fear on the next level, and that's what we're doing now. We're moving to conquering our old fears, and that's what this is all about. Partially, I think. I got that hit when I read that, and I kind of forgot about it. But yeah, it's right. We're supposed to be doing this. You know, so it's not an inconvenience for us because it has to happen. So why not let it happen and deal with it?
exactly.
Mhm.
And I was thinking, if we are eternal beings, and we are, oh my goodness, I have to handle this forever in the sense of the world forever. So
We're not going to handle the same thing forever. It's going to
yeah,
be constant
yeah,
change.
it's better. You know, I do something about it. And so, okay. So I think what helps me a lot is cultivate one thing that I saw on one of your photos or artwork, Sonia, that you said that you are cultivating the innocence. I thought was great, and I said, "Yeah, this is one of the the ways to go." And just look at everything, um, like you are a child, like was the first time, or like was new for you. And
And it is.
I try this exercise, this kind of thing. It's easy when I'm alone, when I'm here at home, uh, but it's harder when you are outside and interacting with everybody. Uh, but I'm trying. I'm trying to see, uh, you know, not being stupid, but trying to see the best side of everything. Um, try not get attached to situation, even if sometimes you see bad things happening, in front of you, and you get, shocked or irritated or offended, but which is genuine also.
Mhm.
But again, you have to um, go over those things and get the better and the best that you can get from the situation. This is what I believe.
Yeah, you have to transcend it, and what's the insight there?
Right.
What is there? What is it showing? What are you showing for yourself? But
Exactly.
yeah, I
Yeah, it
mean,
doesn't
one
have
thing
to
I'm
ruin
about
your
is
day.
showing your emotions, not suppressing the emotions. I mean, not where it brings harm to someone else. I'm just saying, the emotions to me are one of the most important things, and especially with the tool that we have from Almeen, with the fragrance oils and doing the different protocols. This is something, if anything, more than anything that I do with myself and clients, is that, because I know that I have always been a very emotional being, whether it's my own or being empathic to everybody else's. emotions, which can be overwhelming, you know. So, but it's okay. So this is why for me, I just feel that that's something that, you know, and a lot of people have suppressed so many of their emotions. They have not, you know, when in their experiences or their relationships, they don't allow certain emotions to come up, you know, whatever they may be, you know, that's like whatever, you know, because there's that belief system or, I mean, you know, cultural, whatever it may be, and they suppress those emotions. So for me, that's a very big thing at this time. But I always try to bring myself into a center that it doesn't bring harm to somebody else, you know, in the releasing or the expressing of it. And I think that that's, you know, it can, well, when I'm by myself, I'm not really triggering myself in that way. But when I'm, you know, out in the world, conversing or interacting, and for the most part, I'm not, but you can see it around you, you know, and a lot of times you can pick up those things. So again, even if you're seeing it's not you, but you're seeing this in front of you in the outer world, I've always look at what is this showing me? Anything that's happening. And that's being aware and being conscious and being tuned in to life, you know, your inner world and your outer world. So I think that's something that's very important at this time for people to, you know, look at, work at.
Because our outer world does reflect our inner world. You know, it's what we see, it's what we're perceiving out there. So it's speaking to us.
Always, yeah. Always. So it's I would like to ask one maybe final question at this time. Well, didn't really want to ask questions, but from your individual perspective, where do you see, or, oh, I'm hearing myself all of a sudden. Where do you see us going, or, you know, or getting a sense? Again, I'm coming from metaphysical, not from the mind so much, but maybe the cosmic mind. Where do you see us, you know, maybe this year? Do you have any sense of what is unfolding? Do you have any sense, you know, something besides of what's already been unfolding or taking place, but what's maybe unfolding now? And it could be, you know, just in your individual life or globally. What is your perspective on that?
Well, I have a perspective on that, I guess. I'm really aware that this year is going to be a really big year for me. It's because the Chinese New Year, and I'm an ox. It's the year of the ox. I was born in an ox year, so that gives me extra strength, I guess, in my life. But I feel like I've overcome a lot of things this last few years, and I'm at the point now where I'm able to heal really quickly, and I'm finding the best people to help me with my process. And so that's all personal, but it will affect everybody else out there, you know. But that's all it is for me. This whole year is going to be really a blossoming of healing and just greater awareness of people knowing who I am and me being more of who I am, you know.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you. Sonia.
I have no idea.
It's a good answer too.
No idea. I know nothing.
Well,
but
that's true too.
I do feel manifestations are happening a lot quicker.
Yep.
You know, and to piggyback on what Greg said, you know, I just feel us stepping more into our power, becoming more aware of who we are. Now, where that's going to go is anyone's guess. It waits to be seen. It's the adventure that we have ahead of us. So
true words. The adventure. Christina, any thoughts? Any perspective?
Oh, you know what? I'm fighting every day to not have any speculative of anything. But I actually, very honest, I really don't know. They are at the Original Ones group. They were talking about time traveling again, and I even thought this. Yeah, today morning when I was before to go to work, I always give a little peek to see what is there. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, when I'm gonna find time to time travel and give a little peek what is going on in the future and come back when all those crazy stuff is gonna transform or stop or be in a, and then I was thinking, oh well, maybe I have too much on my plate right now. It's better I stay with a with a
In the
more,
present.
yeah. This is what I think. But I agree with you both. In some sense, I feel the same, you know. But in my very particular, very personal life, it's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to be in the present and work with my self-sovereign and things that I cannot, habits that I have to break, you know, things like that. So, and if I can do it and I want to do it genuinely, I know the future is going to be better for everybody because if I changed, everybody changed. I'm doing my part. I'm trying hard.
As we all are, yes, totally. I agree with all of you. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There isn't only one perspective. There isn't only one probability. There isn't one thing that's going to unfold. It's multi-leveled. It's multi-dimensional. And we don't know it all. For me personally, I get a lot of different signs or insights or visions, but I cannot tell you what that all really means most of the time, right? It's a vision of something. It's like a peek. If you just peek into the window and you see something, or you get a flash of something, and I don't even know what dimension that is. I mean, speaking of time travel, I believe the last few weeks there's been quite a bit where I have. I'm not sure where I am. I just know I'm not somewhere that's here, or it's not somewhere I've been before, and there's all different people that I don't even know, at least here, that I even recognize even from the past. They seem new. Now, I did have I'm going to go off somewhere else, but just because it came to my mind, so I'll share it because maybe it'll trigger something. But I had a very brief dream, or at least I only remember a small portion of it yesterday morning, just before waking up. Now, again, it was very lucid. So I thought that, this is really happening here. And when you wake up and you're like, what? I'm like, you actually think you're somewhere else, because where I was, to me, seemed like is where I'm actually existing, in this physical realm. And so there were two other men in it, and we were all like just waking up. And there was nothing sexual. It was nothing like that. We were just waking up. And I don't know who these two men were. It's very interesting. I could not see their faces, but I could see the rest of their body. But one gentleman, they were leaving. And so they left me this box, which I think it was a box. But somehow it contained, if you want to say, some kind of money, but not money that I recognized, right? And then there was some kind of goldy bronze card, and he's telling me you can access with it's literally, he just gave this to me and like, you can go and look now. There's lots there, right? And he goes, you can go look at it. That this was something that was new, right? And I can't really decipher if it was money from the past or if it was money coming into the future, right? I can't decipher what that was. All I know that there was an abundance of it there, and he just gave me access to look at it. And I had a bronze colored gold card that I could use to, I think, to whether access into this box where all of, I don't know, funds were. I don't know really what it was. So I'm thinking, well, and then I woke up and I was like, well, what is that all about? And I woke up holding this card in my hand. Where was I? What was I seeing? Am I seeing something that's coming into being? Am I seeing something that was in the past but still exists there, but we haven't accessed it yet? So for me, there's so many things that are being shown, but I'm just fluid about them, unless I get a deeper insight or a deeper understanding, to me, they're just glimpses. They're either glimpses into possibility or probability or just multiple timelines. I mean, we're awakening to so many we're awakening up to our multidimensional self. Mm-hmm. Not just an awakening as to, oh, yes, I am this. No, we're awaking up to so much more. So it's an intriguing time for me. I really, really feel I've never been in fear about anything that's going on. I've been mellow. I've been excited. I deal with my own stuff. That's a thing that I deal with. But for looking at the broader perspective on the world, it's perfect. It's exactly what we've been working towards. It's exactly what is supposed to be taking place, and how it unfolds is up to us.
Christina, that sounds kind of symbolic also, that you've been handed the means that you can just get whatever you want, any need that you have, you can satisfy.
Yeah, actually it's interesting. You triggered something else, because the last few days, and maybe this implemented it, but I did travel somewhere in this, wherever I was, whoever these men were, but it's like we have all the abundance and resources within us, right? Yeah. We know this. I know this intellectually. I know this. I understand this, but living this and being open to receive, I think that's been my kind of, yes, I open to receive. Then I'm like, I'm not sure. Should I? What about the next person? Oh no, I must give to this one. What about them? They need too. Not just me. So sometimes I, wrestle with, right? Oh, okay, but look, everybody else needs to. That's me. That's the Virgo in me, the service. I want to take care of everybody, and I know that I have to take care of me first. So being open to receive. So I've been having some kind of things like that the last few days, to saying and then Almeen put out a couple of days ago. What is it? The oh my gosh, was it principles she gave us? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I don't know what they're called either, but I remember.
Oh my God, my brain is now fuzzy now. But so I thought, oh my God, literally when I got up, those were posted. After I had the dream with the box and the men and all that, and that was posted, I was like, Almeen Infinite, you are always perfect timing. You know what I mean? It's just like, for me, it may be just for me, but I understand that most of us who are also, students who so far tonight have been, at this roundtable, and we recognize that, because we are all connected and tuned in that way. So I'm always so grateful. I'm always so grateful that confirmation comes, or the perfect tools that we need in the moment to use. And so, yeah, I think that's a part of what's happening as well right now, is opening to receive, but also knowing that it exists within us. So it gives me it gives me a sense of excitement. It gives me actually a sense of gratitude, like a deep sense of gratitude, even though I don't know where, what, how, when, I have this gratitude because I know that it exists. It's already there.
Yeah.
So I just have to trust, and I have to open to receive to that. And I think that covers many things, not just, money, abundant resources. That for me, that covers everything.
Totally.
Life, just life in general. There's a lot of presences in right now. Are you guys feeling this? Because I just got a really, really strong presence, like really around. Actually, usually it's all behind me. It's like there's always standing around. Now it's right up here. So around the crown. I don't know if you guys are picking up anything. Woo.
I've had presence around me all day. I've seen little lights kind of going around wherever I've been. So it's been a very magical day for me anyway. So
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah, I had a really major chiropractic adjustment today, and something that hasn't been addressed for 15 years. It was
Ooh.
suddenly addressed today, and it like, whoa, it just like totally blew my mind almost, and it was my body, but it blew my mind. And I realized, wow, that means there's some place there's not going to be an earthquake tonight. So
there's lots of
earthquakes. So but it was really great, and it's helping me in my process with my whole awakening also. I think we're all at the end of our awakening stage, when the last stages of awakening. And so this is really helping that finally get finished. I hope, hopefully, looking forward to the next level, whatever that will bring, whatever that will be.
Exactly, whatever that would be. Well, I agree with you. I feel like I felt the last few nights, and actually early this morning, because I had a biomagnetic session yesterday. So 2 days ago, and sometimes it just, you feel the impact or the effects or the detoxifying immediately. Sometimes there's nothing, and then all of a sudden, boom. So in the middle of the night, I had something come. I don't know what the heck it was, and I already shared this a little bit before. And the force of it, like it was coming, and I could, as I'm half asleep, half awake, and in stillness, I'm not freaking out, but I'm just feeling this like intense, and I literally can feel the force of it moving through. And, you get it's coming down to my heart area. And you're like, wait a minute. And then all of a sudden it just goes whoosh, right? And I was like, whoa. The thing about it is that I was in stillness, and I didn't go into fear, because it was very strong, and it felt like it was deep, coming from deep, or old, or the past, or something like you say, it's been there for, you say 15 years. I don't know. I feel like it was there for eons, but it was just this, and then that was like, wow, like this weight is gone, because it literally felt like a weight, and it just dissipated, right? I went through it, and I let it move through us. And so I think that's been happening a lot. And it's necessary for it to happen to get to that next stage, that next level of awakening. And that's the exciting part. This is what I want to, convey to people, that if you see it, if you can see, there's excitement there, no matter how it appears, right? There's excitement, there's change, and change is constant. But I mean, this is big change, big things moving, going into something completely new. It's just a matter, again, of perspective. And I hope that, even in this little conversation, a great conversation, is that we can impart that to some people who listen or tune in later. They get something from it. You will always get something. Always. A little gem, an insight, a trigger, whatever it is, it's always a gift. In my view.
Always a gift.
Always a gift. And I was so excited, like a little kid, when it came time to do this, and it was getting closer, and I was like, oh my God. It's like, you're just going to connect. I feel like, when I was a child, when you call your friends up, hey, let's go out and play today, right? Where do you want to go? We're going to meet at the park. Right. And so I was having this memory, and I mean, I've done this many times, in the past, but there's an excitement there. And if you can, ride that wave, I mean, it can take you, so many places, so many experiences.
I'm
So
just
thank
so
you.
happy to see all y'all. I've just been, I took myself completely off social media,
Mhm.
and which was good.
I tried.
You know, although I am on a couple of platforms, the Telegram one
Hmm.
is, but
Which
I
is
don't know how much. I'm gonna have to shut off some of those notifications. It's just,
just go up to the top right. Sorry. Yeah, I know they were in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh no, I can't, because everybody's there's a lot of different time zones there. So, but it's
yeah,
great that people are also chatting and they're also expanding the conversation, and
yeah.
being able to share other things and tap into other things. And so that's really great that that's there.
It
And
is great. It is
yeah,
great.
and that's what I
And
would
it
like to
feels
do here
good.
as well.
It feels good there. The other ones weren't feeling good to me. So, there they
Well,
go.
because they were, to a certain degree, everybody was sort of like, okay, this is only the stream of consciousness that's happening, and that's it, right? And
Hmm.
okay, I get that, yes. But then it's kind of like, hey, and that's fine. That can stay like that. But hey, open up other avenues. This is what I wanted to do here as well, is to be able
Hmm.
to communicate. Probably or mostly it would be the original ones, or anyone who really is resonating within the stream of consciousness,
Hmm.
and having a similar view or similar experiences or perspectives on things. And so I do open it up to that. I don't want to limit it, and I don't want to limit conversation, though. Today it's a little challenging to a certain degree, but that's okay. We can do it. We can still have great conversation. So thank
Well,
you.
this has
Any
been
last words?
wonderful.
Thank you. Any last words you would like to share?
Was so awesome to see you guys. So awesome. Oh, I'm really, really, really happy. Happy to see you guys. See that you are fine, that you are healthy, that you are happy, that your eyes sparkles. This is awesome. This gives to me um, this excitement that Christina was talking about. And I said, oh, look at them. They are fine. I don't know. It's the way I feel.
Thank you so much. I mean, and that's something I would like to be contagious, you know, is to that excitement, that joy, and the experience of your life, your journey. And hopefully maybe you guys want to join in another time, another show, and we can take it down a different road. Whatever you want to share, if you have ideas, if anybody out there, any other original ones, or anyone else that would like to come on and just have a conversation, metaphysically speaking, um, please send me a message, let me know. You guys are all welcome at any time. Yeah, to chat, to connect. And I believe that just our, roundtable here has effect or amplifies on all levels. It amplifies on many more levels than just right here. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Christina. I'm so glad that you initiated this and hit me up. I'm loving it. Yeah, I'd be
I
glad
know
to come
you
back.
always are. You're wonderful. Thank you. Actually, the three of you, I have to say, and Trish too, but her life is a little more busier. But if I just call on you, I'm so appreciative that you're just, well, give me tears. Just to be there, and say that you even just trust to have a conversation with me. I'm not the best host or talking. I'm more so right brain that I'm just into your presence. I'm into your being in there and your sharing. And just to listen to everybody. So that's what I enjoy. So thank you so much.
Hang on a second. There's somebody who wants to say hello to you.
Oh
Let me
yeah, who is
I gotta
that?
go to where she is.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to message you and ask you, um, but since you're not on Messenger now, I have to communicate with you on Telegram. Hello, darling. Hello, Maggie. How are you?
She's
How is she
fussing.
doing? Oh, we can't really see her.
Come on. Let's say
She's
hello
being
to
shy.
Sam. Yeah, she's
How is she
fussing.
doing? How is her eye?
Well, see if you can see.
I can't. She keeps turning her head away.
Come on, sweetness of mine. There she is. Well, it's back in her head,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was, yeah.
but
Oh, we
she's
could always do more work with her, but I'm glad to see she's still here. And yeah, it is back in. Her eye was protruding. Oh, yeah, it's much better. Oh, yes. She's still got a fire in her, you know. She's got a
oh
fire.
yeah.
And hello, darling.
But she wanted to say hello.
Hello. Yes, I did some therapy, a little bit work with her, but she's you know, on the other level, she was quite open to it. I have to say that. You know, on a greater level, we're always open to it. It's when we get to this space that we have to also match with it, you know. But that's nice. Thank you. Thank you for showing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll say good night and blessings to all of you. I love you all, and I hope that we can connect again.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love. Take care.
Thank you.
Buddy, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back again soon. I just